You want me to sing it?
Whenever kings in competition.
Because I could sing it, you know. I could sing it.
Promoters
I could sing it for you.
Leave me out.
No matter what's my requisition, something I'm concerned about. Though my friends and my friends show me that I'm a king in my domain. When they ask for my credentials, well, this is how I would explain them big shows up at the Forum. I sing it just like you too. The Complex and the Stadium. Whenever you're keeping them show, listen to it properly. Nobody remembers Rio, and that's who I have on the inside this afternoon. I want everybody to actually welcome us, Trinidad Rio on the inside. Rio, what you seeing?
Yeah, welcome Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension, the world. God bless you.
That's what we talking about, Rio. Like I was telling you, you know, while we were off here, how excited I am to have you on the inside.
Well, that's nice because the thing is not about how I feel, it's how I make you feel. You understand what I mean? So that make that good. That make me feel happy.
That's what we talking about.
Yeah.
You know, when I spoke to you earlier in the week, then you know, and you agreed to come on the show. And I remember you asked me if I had your music, and I had also tell you, well, I'm a Trinidad Rio fan, so that's why. So I'm going to right now. I want to welcome everyone back to Lime with the Live Wire. This is the second hour, and we're going to be spending the entire hour with Trinidad Rio because you know what, we want to change up the show a little bit, and the first such person to facilitate that is the man Daniel Brown himself, Trinidad Rio.
All right.
So Rio, how things?
You know it, full boy. Everything good with me, man. Everything good.
Of course. Listen. Let me tell you how excited I am with this. I remember in the early 1990s when Alvin Daniel had you on Kaiso Showcase, and last year apparently Alvin would have posted all those shows on YouTube. I went back today just because I know you're coming on, because I tell myself, because this is not a normal show. I want to come and I want to align with Trinidad Rio. So me ain't gonna ask you anything that everybody else gonna ask you.
Right,
you know,
right, nice.
Me and you just linemen.
Yeah,
we
good.
just shooting the breeze for a whole lot.
Nice, good. That's nice. I like that.
You understand?
I like that.
But the first thing I want to know, the first actual thing I want to know about Rio is this: is where you get that name Trinidad Rio from?
Well, I was a Western fanatic, and Rio Bravo was my favorite Western. Right? They used to call me Rio Bravo, right? And I just take out the Bravo and I maintain the Rio.
I love that because that's not something. The only person or the only other person at Trinidad, the name is Trinidad Bill, right? Bill Trotman. You know, and I mean, while Bill Trotman is, you know, one of them people, if you grew up in a particular era, you know, he's one of them calypsonians that appreciates an MC and all that.
Yeah, very talented.
Yeah, very talented guy. You know, and still with us as well.
Yeah.
Still with us.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, when I remembered when them fellas put out the raw kaiso too, when you had raw kaiso with seasoning.
Yeah, in
Mass Camp. And our brethren, you know, where originally from Sangre Grande, where I used to live, and our brethren, both of us, it's at that point in time when we first heard this thing. Anytime we see one another, we used to just greet one another by saying raw kaiso with seasoning. So like I say, I'm pretty excited about this. But you know, looking at that thing on Kaiso Showcase, so that's one particular thing that I definitely needed to ask you. Because I remember you had your mother, she was there, and and I remember she, you know, telling Alvin that, you know, she went and she talked to Kitchener. Your mother really went and talked to Kitchener?
Yeah, Kitchener had me on the bench all the time. Every night they tell me I had to go down every night and I ain't singing, right? And that time, I was living up St. John Street, Laventille.
Right.
So I used to walk from St. John Street, Laventille to the tent every night.
All right.
And I ain't singing.
Right. So you're a young man, you could walk from there. You was not a teenager at the time.
Yeah, but the walking wasn't the problem, but walking and not singing. Because I'm walking to sing. You understand what I mean?
That's what we're talking about.
Right? So I went home. When I got fed up, I went home. Well, I didn't cry. I didn't went home crying. When I reached home, I cried. So I don't know how to make sure I get right. And I tell my son, mommy, kitchen and the mommy come along in the tent every night and night. They ain't getting paid me. Right? Tell me every night I had to come and I ain't singing nothing. And she come down there, she talk to Kitchener. Kitchener tell she talk to Jazzy. She talk to Jazzy. Jazzy tell she talk to Kitchener.
So you went and tell on Kitchener. You went to and tell on Kitchener.
No, what I make? That was in 1969. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
In 1970, I hear Blakey coming and I made a song. I gotta sing a piece of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Sing it for me.
I really didn't want but have to say. But some big calypsonians here today. They don't care about the younger ones at all. They only care about their own self, and that is all. They want everything for themselves alone. They're leaving we to struggle here on we own. But as you know, the longest rope have an end. So one day I'll soon reach on top, my friend, cause I was born as a true calypsonian, but refuse admission. Fighting for recognition.
What are we talking about?
Because the seniors know that we young, boy, they trying their best to keep we down. Make them understand we are the future calypso.
That's what we talking about. That's what we talking about right there. See, live Rio on the inside. Right? So that was like, would you consider that your first hit?
No, that's the first. That was my first.
That's
song.
the first song.
Yeah, when I didn't get in my kitchen. I didn't get in my kitchen, I get to understand that Blakey coming next year.
Right.
So I went and I make this song. I write this song. Right. So that's in 1970.
Right.
So that was my first year.
Okay. Where Blakey's tent was at the time.
Port Services. That's where that hotel is on Rice Road. They by where the fit. Port Services, not Napa.
On Rice Road. Oh, down by the Hyatt down there.
Yeah, the Hyatt. Where the Hyatt is it?
Down where the Hyatt is down there.
Where the Hyatt, that's where it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, so that's a long time.
Yeah.
1970, I wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
I wasn't born yet. I was born like 5 years after.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
so, but like I say, I personally, you know, I tell you, I'm a Rio fan. You know,
that's nice.
Always love Rio. And
that's why it's so smart, right?
Damn right. No, seriously, damn right. You're damn right. You know, but you know, it was always interesting because there a lot of the artists, you know, of a particular generation that I particularly appreciate are guys like a lot of you have something in common, and I know you grew up in the orphanage.
Yeah,
that's
the orphanage. Belmont Orphanage.
Belmont Orphanage.
God bless that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Belmont. I know Merchant was one of those guys who was in the orphanage as well. I know Valentino grew up in the orphanage as well. So you know, and guys who I really enjoy. I really enjoy listening to.
Roy Cape.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Roy Cape and so on. So, but that could not have been. I mean, I can't say not, you know, a pleasant thing, because I will be speaking from somebody who would have grown up in a normal, you know, a normal household and so on, and not in a situation like you. But you being somebody now removed from that, how did living in the orphanage at the time that you did, how did that impact on your life? I ain't talking about calypso. I'm just talking about your life on general.
All right. Well, let me considering all these circumstances.
Yeah.
The orphanage was a blessing in disguise. That makes me who I am. Right?
Talking about?
I learned music. I used to play trumpet, piccolo, and French horn.
Right, yeah. Oh, you're a horn man?
Yeah.
You're horn man or a horn man? I don't know. I don't hear more answer that question.
Well, I used to be a horn man. Right. Yeah. So, what I learned, the orphanage shaped me to be who I am. What was something I was going to say? What used to be considered as what is considered as child abuse, right? In my time was discipline, and we had plenty of that.
Yeah,
the orphanage was run like a military, you know.
Well, okay, yeah, because discipline, like I said, discipline. Discipline.
Before you go to school, the band park up here playing music, and we with the short pants, barefoot, marching to school. The band played pam 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 we marching to school, you know. That's how it was, you know. Right?
That's what we're talking about.
Right? And all the maintenance and all the work we used to do it, you know. They had no
Then we MTS and no CPEP and all them kind of things.
We used to do it.
Right, yeah, okay.
Right, so boy, that was a blessing in disguise. And if it wasn't for the offers, I don't know, because I don't know what would have happened to me, because things was kind of. I mean, already had some pressure or
Right.
something, you know.
But, and that was the next thing. That was the next thing I found that was kind of interesting. The fact that your mother was at least your mother was alive.
Yeah.
Right. But you end up in an orphanage. How that happen?
Well, my mother and father, my mother ended up by herself.
Okay.
Right?
Single parent.
Single parent, right?
Big family, yes.
Yeah.
I guess.
And it was 9 of us, but all didn't go in the orphanage, right?
Well, okay. All right. So
Right.
how many of you? Just you alone?
1, 2, 3.
But it had to be
3, 4 of us.
Okay.
Right.
But I mean, those times obviously were different. You know, if it was now, it probably would not have been so many of you, if any of you would have gone. I just trying to equate to how how the times were and so on. You know, so but you know what? I mean, many Trinidadians, past and present, probably glad he was in the orphanage, because if he wasn't in the orphanage, he would not be Trinidad Rio.
Exactly.
He would not be Trinidad Rio.
That's where I discovered myself. You know?
Yeah, well,
Right?
exactly.
Right? Both spiritually and mentally.
Okay, and that's really good. Yeah, that's really good.
Because they didn't just scale up with religion. With not, I don't like to use the word religion because I believe in righteousness.
Yeah,
right?
spirituality. Yeah.
You had to go to church. That was high on the priority. Every morning you had to go to church before you had anything here.
Wow, that's
Right?
great. That's great.
And that have an important part to play in my upbringing.
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
because I live more spiritual than physical. You know. Right?
Well, I could imagine for somebody who was so beloved, and a lot of people would believe that that you should have achieved more. But I understand that's probably not because of you, right? But because of other external, forces. Why it is you so strong, and you're still going today?
So that is why I want to question the people who believe I should have achieved more. More what?
Well, I don't. Well, listen. I don't think you could go wrong with love, because I know plenty of people love it. I was telling somebody this week, when I was telling them at Harrion, because I'm excited at Harrion, I've never heard anybody who know anything about Trinidad Rio and his music. I've never heard anybody say, I don't like that man. I don't like that music. Honestly, I've never heard anybody say that. And for the people who probably now been introduced to it, I'm pretty certain they will find it very, very interesting. And I mean like younger people. Because for me, for the life of me, I can't understand how anybody could not like music from Trinidad Rio. The free show kaiso.
Yeah, because and I feel whatever part of play that you see is how I see the thing.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
How I approach it, how I see it, how I address it. I see calypso as a responsibility, a commitment. What I could do for you. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
What I will get is it calls an inevitable side effect. What I will get, I will benefit in any case.
Yeah.
Because it's all an investment. Looking at the physical side of it, doing the right thing in the right way is a big investment from the spiritual side.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
Right. And what you can't see is much more important than
That
what you
is
can see.
correct.
Right.
Exactly.
So that talking from that perspective. So that is how I address my thing. Right. I used to get plenty pressure on thing. Right. Nothing. It used to worry me at that time.
Yeah.
But as I get older now, again, I kind of perspective now explain the whole thing, how it was. The processes how to go through and thing when you're on the right side. When you right?
Yeah.
And all this thing.
Yeah.
And I understand all that. And everything worked for me. I comfortable now.
That's very, very
Right?
good.
I happy now. I comfortable. Me I know. Me ain't hate nobody. Me I no enemies or nothing,
Yeah.
Right? All them things that happened to me in the past. Right? It happened for the better. They help because God worked through people.
Yeah, exactly.
God worked, right? So they was there to shape my whole life, right?
Yeah,
Right?
that's really I love that. I really and truly love
Right,
that.
so that is very
listen, it has so many things that ran through my head this week when I say, I know the great Rio coming on with me. But one of the things I know plenty people go on, right?
Right.
Me really care about that. I really lying, but I really care about it. Whenever you're performing, people always know about the blazer, the tie, not nest below. Right? Which part you get that from? Where you get that from?
And let me tell you something. It was more or less a satirical insult, right? You know what? Sometimes when people just can't come out and say what they want to say sometimes, and they use all kind of different things as an excuse.
Yeah.
Right? Coming back to the thing, same judging thing and the kaiso and not picking me and all kind of thing, right? One of the reasons, I used to wear a shirt, Right?
Right.
One of the reasons is that I just look like a vagabond on church, bareback and this and that and all kind of thing. Right? Look like a vagabond.
Yeah.
But I knew that wasn't the real reason. Right? I suspect I knew what the reason was. But I ain't gonna talk about that. Right? Because you know sometimes my wife said, well, I like to see you somewhere. You know what I mean? So that
Yeah.
So I incorporated tie.
Yeah.
Right? I incorporated tie and I ain't bareback again. I sing with the tie.
Right, you sing with the tie.
Men singing with jacket and chain and jewel and all that. I singing with jacket and tie. And that is why I incorporate the whole thing.
That is it.
Yeah, simple as that.
That is, I mean.
Right? And the bareback thing coming out, I feel, since I was a little child, right? I used to be short and do pants all the time.
Yeah.
I got big man now. I remember.
Yeah.
But what happened with the bareback thing? Look how it coming. I sing in the masters there no time.
That's in the early 80s.
In the early 80s. I was 83.
Yeah.
And by the end, I come up the stage, they call me back. I come up the stage, they call me back. I come up the stage, they call me back again. So I said, that is the last one. When I go on black stage now, I started changing my clothes. So I take off my shirt and I started take my belt on. They call me back. Conquer Robin say, go so. And he push me on the stage. So that's why I end up there back. That's why I end up there back.
Oh gosh. Hey, I love that. And watch man, and those things, stories like that are what people like me appreciate, because the one thing that usually that hurts me as a Trinidadian, as a lover of calypso, a lover of soca, a lover of music in Trinidad and Tobago, is the fact that we have, and eventually it's going to happen like this. We're going to lose all these people because that's what life is. You're born, you live, and then you pass. But while you're passing through, you leave a legacy. So there are a lot of people that we don't have. There are quite a bit of people that we don't know anything about. We just know their music, and they have interesting lives. Like, I remember looking at, like I said, I was looking at the Kaiso Showcase program today with Alvin Daniel and stuff we were talking, and I made mention of some people, and some of those people are people who I don't know nothing about them, and I would like to know because I like their music. I know you and Funny good. Yeah. I know you and Funny real good. You stop Funny all the time. What kind of relationship you have with Funny? And how that come about? And I know both of you sang in tents for years, right? But I mean, both of you had to have some kind of special relationship for it to always be, talking about each other.
No, listen, the kind of camaraderie so having the calypso tent, right? Is a camaraderie where everybody used to feel like family them.
Right, okay.
Right? And Funny was one of them. Funny, Luther, Gypsy, all of them, all of them, right? Then me and Funny was so close because we do something similar.
Right.
So at time, well, Funny was kind of struggling with the thing too, and I was struggling too with the work after season and all kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So I talked to Funny and say, well, Funny, I go down. I'm a joiner by trade.
Right.
So
the poor man's furniture.
Yeah. I print once with our call cards and all kind of thing. I say, Funny, we're going to the joining business now. Funny, you're not joining, and why teach him? Build your own cupboards and thing now.
Okay.
Right. But the whole thing camaraderie started in the masters then.
All right.
Right. So all the fellas, the same way me and Funny is now. All the fellas in the masters then I the same way with them.
Right. Okay.
Right. But that's because I see Funny more often.
Okay.
Luther.
Yeah.
Right. Gypsy. Right. So.
All right.
I just say me with all of that.
I mean, like I remember, I called some names. I don't think anybody know anything really and truly about Count Robin.
Ember.
Ember from Arima. Well, I'm originally from the East. So, people like Ember and Cardinal and those guys.
Yeah.
You know about them fellas. Skatey and them guys from, up in the East. Scrunter, that grandy man. But unless you leave that, that kind of environment where it is, you might know them guys personally, but because you're in that environment, you don't know things about them. You don't know who they are, right? I remember growing up here in Count Robin, and for me, Count Robin's, the music I heard from Count Robin is still only a handful, and and the hits that you have are hits, But people don't know nothing about Count Robin, but Rio know about Count Robin, and that's a benefit to Rio, but it's not a benefit to Trinidad and Tobago.
All right,
and that's something that for me personally, it's kind of hurt me. To know that people don't, because I could talk to somebody, I'm 47 years old, I could talk to somebody 45 to 50 years old, and I would say, well, Count Robin. They ain't gonna know who Count Robin is, but they don't know a song that he sing. And to me, that's a disappointing thing.
Yeah, because you see what you're doing here now?
Yeah.
And I like what you say. If more people was doing what you're doing here now, you're a young fella, start.
Yeah.
You will know about Count Robin plus.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know but big, long years before concubine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
You know?
And that's where the problem is.
Yeah, that's what the problem is. No, my father tried to my father tried to drum me years ago. When at time we was in town, he come in town, do some business, and he asked me, because he's the man that really had me loving calypso from small. He say how much calypso? And I hear you say how much calypso, you know. I say, I know plenty things. I like about 13, 14 years. Yeah, so I say, all right, well, tell me this. Tell me who is the free show kaiso king? I said, but me don't. Who's that boy? I'm racking my brain. I want to know who is that boy. And he there and he say, well, and this in the morning, he say, think about that whole day. Let me see if we can figure it out. And it's like when we reach back, Grandy, he come and he say, well, it's Rio. But them time I know internet and things. So I try to ask all kind of people to find out about how come I don't know about this competition. You know, competition is like a few weeks after I get to hear a rendition of the song for you to understand that, you know, the Free Show is just a song. You know, Free Show Kaiso King. But watch me, I know it does sing about a lot of you know, experiences, personal experiences and things.
Every song I sing.
Yeah, you know, and you know what, and I don't know if it's an insult, but people love to hear your hoot, because I know it's a lot of hoot to it. But that Free Show Kaiso King, that's our mastery, that's our masterful, that's a masterful song.
Yeah, but something you said again, because I like where you're intelligent for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's a big thing coming from you.
Yeah, you see how you're talking there, right? You say people like to hear my hurt.
Yeah.
Right? That makes me feel good. You know why? We live in a coexisting world.
Yeah.
When I sing things about me, not for me, you know, because we all experience the same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Right? So in that context, I'm glad you say that. Because by saying that, bring out this.
Of course.
Right? So I like that.
We love the Rio. We love the Rio. So we say down here, we like with Kaiso. We talking Kaiso. We talking life. We talking all kind of thing. Trinidad Rio. You line with the life. Why we on Street 919 FM. He line with we until 5. So if it is all if all you catch it early, or you could catch it late, and if it is all you catch that all, or you could go back on YouTube and or you could see it after the show finish. So you're all over the cyberspace, Mr. Daniel. You understand?
Yeah.
So, you know, but I mean, it have people, a song that I like to play. People I love. As a matter of fact, I will let you know that last year, you know, everything still kind of locked down. Where normally what we do, what I do on the show is inside the second hour, on the second half of the hour, I do a spotlight. And last year I did a spotlight on you. Usually a soca artist. But I say, well, yeah, every so often I change it up. One time I did a Zandoli. I do a Rio. Yeah, and you know, that kind of thing. And a song that I usually like to play, even outside of that, is a song that I know that country. It originally, and I know you got the idea of it from a country song. That's Traveling Man, right?
No, wait now.
No, the actual progression.
Yeah,
you know,
the progression.
right, the actual progression.
Yeah,
you know, and I, you know, I be wrong, and people know well. You know, I like Kaiso and things. Yeah. And I just tell people I could sing that too. I could sing it the way Oriona sing it. I could sing it like Oriona sing it. Because I love that. If you don't know that song, right? If you're hearing the song for the first time and you know before you hit the chorus, you're telling yourself, "All right, this is that a normal Kaiso." By the time you hit the first chorus, you're hooking. You hook.
Yeah.
and that the genius are Rio. But I mean, this is again you're hurt. I know you're good. But everybody is getting a travel and all kind of thing.
But look how I get in. The progression you say was right from the country song.
Yeah.
The idea, look how I get the idea. I work in American stores.
Right.
Wholesale factory.
Yeah.
And I have a partner named Hamilton. Hamilton Batiste. He's a big, strong fella. Yeah. He's a gay body fatigue and all kind of thing. But me and he was good. And fatigue just bounce off of me because I like fatigue. Fatigue give me idea. Yeah. So he find when he give me fatigue, I only laughing and thinking, you think worrying me. So he used to give me fatigue. He used to say, Rio, what kind of kaiso in US boy? Kaiso going all over the place, flying all over the place, and you backward and forward every day in Hosine, building furniture up and use that Hosine kaiso, you know what? And that's where the idea come from.
I know that. I went from San Fernando, Palo Seco, Monoripo, Los Iro, from Monoripo to Rio Claro, Kumoto, Gasparillo, El Cipcoro, Monday, Avo, Toco, and Mearo people. I've been everywhere. I love it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I love it. You know, we have about 2 minutes before we go and take a break. But Rio, tell me this too. Tell me this. You finished building the house?
I finished building the house long time, but you know. as you talk about that house, right? Is again growing up in the orphanage gave me that will and that.
Yeah.
Right? It take me 7 years to dig down a mountain to build that house, you know. No, but listen.
Yeah.
The joke and the whole thing is everybody else you pass and see that man mad by what a man doing there, boy. Is a madman by the name of King. He pass and say, hey, Danny, people see you there and that go say you mad, you know. So that had me questioning who really mad now. You understand what I mean?
It's two madmen dealing with one another now. One man digging a mountain and the next madman talking to
Right.
So you know what? We're gonna be taking we're gonna take a little break. We inside with the man himself, Trinidad Rio, and we talking to Rio until 5 o'clock because he is the man in the spotlight this afternoon. And this is how we do in the spotlight this afternoon. We are Trinidad Rio, and we have more of this coming up in the coming weeks. So you know what? This is something that's all I have to look forward to. So keep it right here on the Street 919 FM. You're line with the live wire and in line with Trinidad Rio. Right? Cool.
Today is like a game of Russian roulette. So before one of them get me sick, I'm going back to basics. I'd rather sit down in a corner and
Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
The hardest working man on the street. He's the live wire.
I hear Lyman with his content Calypsonian. Still squinting at the show and I'll let him admit it earlier. But before that, I'm trying to help him not be squinting. So let me tell all of this. Let me tell you the same thing I tell him earlier.
I see.
Today's question is, what will you do with $17 million? Rio, tell me what you gonna do with $17 million. What you gonna do with $17 million if you win it?
No.
Yeah, no.
Why help a lot of people I will help?
We got to talk about that just now. We got to talk about it just now.
Something.
So yeah, what's going on? The Lotto Plus jackpot is estimated at a life-changing $17 million. So just imagine you could clear off your family debts, build your own dream home. Well, Rio done build his dream home already. He clear a piece of mountain for it.
I see.
Travel for the most exotic locations in the world. And he can still have millions left, and you know, and he could do all kind of things with it. We can hear what Rio going to do with it just now. So when you win your $17 million, you could do whatever you want. And you could also multiply your non-jackpot prices up to 20 times. Just add the multiplier by betting $5 more. So you could win up to $1 million. So there's 17 million reasons to play. So get your tickets for tonight's massive $17 million Lotto Plus jackpot. And we know that winners always play Lotto Plus. So Rio, tell me now. I know he's a content Calypsonian. I know he's a free show Kaiso King. So I know you have plenty plans if it is to win that 17 million.
No, Scranton was an era.
Yeah, it was an era.
Right, so
nice.
I'm good.
So you're good now.
I'm good now.
You're good now.
Right.
But you'll no longer be the free show Kaiso King. Well, I mean, you might still be the free show Kaiso King.
Yeah, still do some free shows and things.
Yeah, but if it is, you feel with all them free shows, you could have made $17 million.
More, boy.
More
than that.
So much free shows? No.
Boy.
No.
Boy. Boy.
So
I do free show until I get to like it. Right? And I forget I sing free. I just sing and go and forget I do it free. First I do free show.
That's what we talking about.
We're talking about the 17 million now.
Yeah.
If I give us 17, no, 7 million, 17.
17. 17.
17?
Yeah, 17.
Boy, me, I might end up in my house, boy.
So, plenty people.
I go end up in my house, 17 million, is it?
You want to end up on YouTube with like one of them people who actually end up in the man house broken. If you want to end up in the mad house with $17 million in your pocket, that's something different, you know.
No, well, if I end up in the mad house broken with $17 million, I prefer try to buy the mad house. You understand what I mean? I take a same himself I broken the mad house going mines. Huh? But that $17 million, I wouldn't like to win or something. I don't want to win or something, Milan.
I have a brethren that say
I don't want that.
That poor people are not supposed to have money. And he saying anything else but to say that they really actually have no idea what to do with it. So it will be a waste of time to have it. And you know, to some degree, he might be right. He might be right because plenty people you can't plan for something like that. You know, it's really hard to plan for something like that.
You can't plan for that.
Rio, here, hold on. You doing this thing since the late 1960s. All right. I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me one of them real interesting. Give me an interesting story. For like, you know, in a tent, you know, you went to the tent a night, or you know, had a season in the tent, and you know something real interesting happened that you know like nobody could really imagine, because I'm sure you have plenty of them things. Because you sing plenty, you see Steel Waste Man, I'm sure people would have come and you know tell you something probably backstage or probably tell you something in the crowd. It don't necessarily have to be in the tent, but some performance you probably would have ever done.
Look, you send me there now.
You know what do you mean?
I had to trace back in victory.
It's plenty. You sing my Kitchener, you sing Masters Den, you sing my Victory, you sing a Spectacular. You see Traveling Man, you're all over the place.
No, the only thing I could remember, you send it back there, the first thing that pop up is the first tent I sang in. I was in Victory Kaiso tent.
Right.
You know, Blakey had the bad boys and thing, them was the what do you call it? Security and thing, right?
Yeah.
All of you, everybody was nice, right?
Okay.
Bad boys on Sam, everybody was nice.
Okay.
And Theodore Guerra.
Yeah.
Right? He was the manager at the tent, he and Patterson.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guerra the manager. So one night, I had a lady I was with, right? You know, people, kaiso have a stigma they go with, and there's a perception, and which is true, which is true,
Yeah.
The kaiso wants is a woman, right? But that don't mean to say every woman you see the kaiso is your own.
Right.
You understand me?
Yeah.
So, I sit down, the lady was in the early, I was a little young fella, right?
Yeah.
So I sit down in the back row. In the back row in the tent, David Patterson, manager, wife sit down next door there.
Yeah.
And we sit down here taking in the show.
Yeah.
But Guerra like Bacchanal. Guerra know the lady is a miserable kind of lady, right? So Guerra say she come and she say I so and so to Rio so and so. Guerra say, but you look different. Do you want, when I see you last time you look so it was more fair skin. Right? And I was sitting down in the back row with Patterson wife, which is a fair skin woman.
Yeah.
Right? Next thing I hear a big scramble behind my back, boy. Right? And the whole she back, this girl with a ice pick now coming to stab in my back.
True?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? Just about to stab me and get Vicky and them whole she back. We gotta know.
Yeah.
And that stay in the back of my head all the time.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
That is the only thing that stay in the back of my head. That.
Wow. That's a scary thing. I mean, thinking about it.
Fighting together already.
Wow, that's you know. So I mean, yes. So no, I mean, all of us, you know, we are good tents, and you know, and we see the performances, and you know, we so, you know, well entertained and thing, and because like I heard years ago, you know, some one calypsonian, I can't remember who it was talking about spoiler, and talking about there were times that they would have had to carry him on stage for him to sing his calypso because he was drunk, you know, because he had a alcohol problem, you know. So I mean, and things like that. Well, for me, I would, you know, believe that, you know, that there are stories that, you know, that we all would find interesting, that, you know, that you guys would know. And I mean, obviously, you'll talk in your own quarters and so on.
And that's the only thing I'd register. The other things is just, I can't remember itself. But you know who have some real good stories?
Who's that?
You see Funny, and that other fella they call Diamond. Not the Diamond, you know.
No.
The one who was the president.
Yes, yeah.
Right? Boy, that man has some stories, boy.
Well, I spoke to, Funny was here once a few years ago, and I had the
Luther has some good stories too.
Luther, he's still a teacher?
No, Luther resigned long time.
He retired. Okay. And I mean, all names that I know. All names, guys. I remember, as a matter of fact, the first time I remember hearing about Luther was when he won the Young Kings. It's the first Young King, I believe. Yeah, back in 1985 or something like that. So, I mean, and, you know, he made it to he's a calypso monarch as well. You know, so, I mean, so all those guys. And I would have never think, because Luther is was a teacher, I would have never thought that you saying Luther have stories. I would have never think that Luther is a name that you would have called.
Yeah, Luther has some real good stories too, boy.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I would have quicker hear talk called Crow and Gypsy. You understand?
Yeah, Gypsy has some good stories too.
And I'm hoping to have Gypsy on the program.
Gypsy has some good stories too.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have him.
What I had to say, live wire, and I forget to say this, and it's something I think I'm supposed to say and say all the time too. Calypso, with all the guidance I get in the oven, shaping of my life and all kind of thing. Calypso played such a major part in my life that kaiso shaped the social side of my life.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Because I remember when I was a perfect, when I leave the orphanage,
Yeah.
I leave the orphanage with a toolbox with a hammer, just a jack pen, and set stone up, chisel out.
So you had learned that trade at the orphanage?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Right? And when I leave the orphanage, my toolbox and my tools. Right? I didn't remember, my old lady, she was doing a sleeping work, you know.
Oh, okay.
Right?
All right.
So I mean, so I had a real struggle, right?
Yeah.
And a calypso used to, I ended up going to my grandmother in St. James or whatever, right? But the calypso that shaped my life. When hard times come and all kind of thing and temptation come, pretend that have a calypso used to shape my life. Bro.
Never ever worry.
Never ever worry.
Never ever worry.
And Kitchener, Mama have, Papa have.
Yeah. Yeah.
And almost all sparrow calypsos, almost all. Right?
Wow.
All. Even Miguel and all, take the bundle and leave and go. All. Right?
All right.
Right? So if the young people was exposed to the kind kaiso I was exposed to,
Yeah.
the place will be a different place.
So it's fair to say that growing up, the calypsonians that you would have gravitated to, Kitchener and Sparrow in particular.
Yeah.
Anybody else beside them?
Sparrow and Melody.
Melody.
Sparrow and Melody.
I love Melody.
Right.
I love
Sparrow.
Melody.
That is why you see fatigue and thing don't humbug me. I learned to laugh at my adversity. Right?
Yeah.
Tune Sparrow and Melody.
And both of them, went at it,
Yeah. And there's real partners.
Yeah, and exactly. They were good friends.
Yeah, I learned so much from them, boy.
Wow. Have you ever had the opportunity to actually share a stage with any of them?
A lot of times. Up to yesterday, I must give Sparrow WhatsApp, boy. Yeah.
Please give it to me.
Yeah. I will.
Yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
Up to yesterday, I talked to Sparrow.
Oh, okay. How is he doing?
Sparrow good, in a wheelchair, in a home and thing now.
Yeah,
But Sparrow good and collective. Every day he's sending WhatsApp messages to me.
Now, you have nothing else to do, so you can send WhatsApp messages.
Yeah, Sparrow good.
Yes, and if my father listened to this program, he said, let's stop talking about Sparrow now. Because in as much as he would admit that Sparrow is great, my father will tell you that it's a better calypso than Sparrow. But everybody everybody had a people. Opinion, my father is Kitchener. You can't say nothing bad about Kitchener. Kitchener probably second coming out God for my father. I don't know, it could be. But of a generation like yours, it's natural for people to say Kitchener and Sparrow. So it's very refreshing for me to hear you say Melody as well.
Sparrow and Melody, boy.
Yeah. So and you've met Melody.
Yeah, I met Melody a lot of times.
Right. Tell me something more Melody that that nobody that would appreciate.
Well, Melody was free-handed when he had money.
Yeah.
But Melody was so smart. Melody could have outsmart anybody, right? The US stamped Melody passport twice twice. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And he still get back up there a third time.
True.
Yeah. Look what Melody used to do sometimes, But Melody, you're a real nice fella. Yeah. Melody used to go in a Chinese restaurant. When you go to a Chinese restaurant, you used to walk with your own fly, Nice? You know what I mean? And when you almost finish the food, now, take out the fly and you put the fly. He said, Chin, man. This food are flying. The food is Chinese like everything. I give my next bit. Yeah. That Melody.
So you know what? I can't have you leave. There's a few more minutes. I can't have you leave without you giving us. I'd ask about one more song, But
no problem.
But you had to give you something.
No problem.
I know the whole story behind this soca will kill somebody. But I need to know the story behind the Big Shot party.
Oh, well, is that true story?
Well, let me hear the story.
Is that song 1988? In 1987.
Yeah, somewhere later. Yeah,
right?
somewhere there.
In 1987, I read on Bum, right? But this party in Valsay and thing, right?
Yeah.
And I said, that's a good thing to sing about, right? So I put all the pieces together and I incorporate some things and fit it in, right? 5 years after now, I went in a gas station in Marva Little Gas. A man followed me and come in the gas station. He said, how long I want to see you? He said, where you get all the information to sing that song? But you know you make a man lose you up. Just so you know.
True.
He said, you know you make a man lose you up.
Nah, man.
I said, no, I read on the bomb and I incorporate the balance.
Nah,
he said, everything I say is exactly what happened.
Oh my goodness. The old Rio boy. The old Rio causing people to lose their work and all kind of thing. It's have people who on the social media here want to say good afternoon to people like Deborah George and Glennis Phillip Claudia Jeffrey, all of them linemen with me this afternoon, and everybody want to say hi to Trinidad Rio, Angela Marcel Figaro. Angela, good afternoon. And you know it's always nice to hear from you. Esther, we know all of you. And everybody want this man to give it back to basics. Right?
No problem.
I give it back to basics.
You know, I have a new verse in Back to Basic they don't play.
Well, here we're going on. You need to give me a verse and you need to give me that new verse. Right? So let me line it up first and then we go. But in the meantime,
He was packed to capacity with big shots in a variety. Expensive toilet facilities such as Rolls Royce, Porsche and Mercedes. I see a big magistrate insanitate a sanitary plate. Then a bald head judge take off the hat. But it was a big short party. Big short party. Shot in pan, shot in sand, shot in hand, big shot bambala. Big shot party. Big shot party.
all right, so we don't know tell me that easy brother who playing that trumpet.
Big shot party.
I know you come from a musical family. I know you had nephews and all kind of thing playing in brass band and all kind of thing. So,
I see a toilet.
but right now you had to give me,
Toilet paper run out.
you had to give me a little thing in the back to basics.
Wait, before.
Yeah, no problem. Talk to me.
You know Patriot, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. That's my son, yeah.
True.
That's my son, you was here earlier in the year. That's my son, he gone back in England.
Oh my.
Patriot, yeah, right, remember that?
Patriot. Okay. Now, as you say England, you going back England.
Yeah.
Mick in.
Mick, that's my brother-in-law.
That brother-in-law. Is that Mick's son?
No, that's not Mick's son.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
Patriot is my son.
Right. Oh, yeah. Sorry. That your son, right? That your son. All right, cool. That's no problem. So yeah, we're going. We just have about 5 more minutes. So I'm making sure that Rio give all a little thing. I want to ask Rio for non-free because if you show King, I want to add to the list. All these.
No problem, man. No problem. You just kaiso, man. Anything.
So yeah, what we doing? So Rio gonna give you something.
A verse on here.
Yeah, give it.
Any verse on the new one?
Yeah, any verse on the new one. So I'm gonna hit it from the top again.
Yeah. All right. Sorry.
This is Trinidad Rio giving all here, right here, Street 919 FM, line with the live wire.
I went to public utilities and tell them disconnect them facilities, cause me I want them. I tried to contact the ombudsman, but never in office. Are going to file me an injunction on the public service. Cause every time a heavy rainfall, me don't have no current at all. They spoil my TV, they spoil my fridge, nearly kill me with low voltage. Now before they make me a lunatic, I'm going back to basic. I'm going and get a flambeau and lamp it wick. I'm going back to basic.
Refresh and reflect.
No politicians laughing at we, cause we too quiet. You know what I say? If we don't like the philosophy, we had to riot. But we so partisan and divide that we too damn weak. So they're mocking we on the side, calling me unique. Calypsonians compress the tongue. They want to win a kaiso crown. The supporters leave and they go, cause we put politics before kaiso. Now the consequences is evident. We going back to basic. We can't even full a kaiso pen.
Now we talking about. Hey, Trinidad Rio. We just have like 2 more minutes. Just go and say thanks to anybody who wanna say thanks. Big up anybody who listening. Anybody, anything. Talk to them. Tell them.
Well, 2 minutes is not enough to individualize or single out. So I want to thank everybody that listened and who ain't listening and all. I want to thank you and God bless you. Walk with God blessing and God guidance.
That's what we're talking about. Thanks again, Trinidad Rio, for passing through. And anytime I call you, pass through, you pass through. As a matter of fact, I don't call it. Just pass through anytime. Once it's a Saturday evening between 3 and 6, pass through anytime.
All right. Thanks to you, God bless you. I like your spirit. I like your vibes. Bro.
Thank you very much.
Love your vibes.
Thank you very much. So we're going to take a break and we're going to be back with the final hour right here, Lima with the live wire.
I used to have a raise in the bank. Or every cent gone in me gas tank. Now I prefer roll.
Street 919 FM.
Don't worry, lover. Don't worry, friend. Don't worry, partner. You go see thing again. Don't worry, lover. Don't worry, friend.